came over and had a few. He was at the ball game, watched the Detroit Sixer game last night.
Yeah, he was letting us know about the Isaiah Thomas incident with Mark Ivoroni last night, too, about the punch, and he had a chance to see it on tape.
Caldwell Jones wins the chip and has it for Watley. Watley swings it down the right side to Orlando Woolridge. He can really run and jump. Woolridge. Battle tough, though. The Sixers pressuring. They get it to Steve Johnson and batted loose inside. Picked up, and it is down. Woolridge with the follow. Well, I'll tell you what, Steve Johnson got beat up.
I have a feeling that Julius is very cranked up for this game tonight. I look for a big ball game from him.
Mo Cheeks with a dribble. Right side. Bounce to Mark Ivoroni. Spun on the left side to Doc. And now Clint from the top. Bang. Clint had a big ball game against Detroit. Did it at both ends of the floor. He really made Tripucka work, and then he took it to him defensively as well. Here's Michael Jordan. First time he's touched it for Woolridge. Woolridge with his second field goal of the game. A 4-2 Chicago lead. Clint low post to Moses. Doubled up and a whistle and a 3-second violation.
In the past, Caldwell Jones has always done a very good defensive job on Moses Malone. He gives him a lot of distance and takes away that banging that Moses likes to do, and then tries to use his height advantage to block his shot.
And that time Jordan came and doubled down on him, and he really didn't have any room to operate. Driving and laying it in. Watley has his first field goal. A 6-2 Chicago lead. This crowd is already revved up. Doc posted. Spins on Woolridge and fires over him and buries that. That's what they paid for. Here and driving is Caldwell Jones, and he jams with two hands.
Philadelphia's given up 3 buckets in this game early on almost uncontested shots. A dunk and 2 layups. That's not the kind of defense we saw last night in Detroit, Neil.
3 of the Bulls have scored. This is Julius. Loops it out at the top to Cheeks. The jumper's good. Mo Cheeks playing before, I'm sure, a lot of friends and family here in Chicago. So he'll want to get after it. This is Jordan with perhaps the ugliest shoes in the league.
What they're paying him to wear those things, I'd wear them too.
There's Jordan. He catches and then was stripped of the ball as he hit the end line, coming down with it, and it's turned over to the Sixers.
If the Bulls have a weakness, it's their set offense in a half-court situation. They want to get a shot up quickly as possible.
Mo Cheeks against Watley. Jordan with Richardson, and now Doc flips it at the baseline. Moses had trouble with it. Now Doc flips it back into Moses. The turnaround is no good, and Jordan taps it out and has it. Bats it ahead to Watley. And then sprinted up the left sideline. They couldn't get it to it. And now a whistle as Bernie Fryer has the call. Doc, the personal foul. I mean, Jordan not only batted that ball, but when you talk about having leverage to turn the corner, he just turned the corner like he had roller skates on. He went zip right by us.
He's one of those players that you watch him, and, you know, I'm sitting here watching him. It's almost like I'm analyzing every move he makes. He has such charisma. He almost mesmerizes you out on the floor with the things he can do. He makes him look so easy, and his rookie year is way too easy. You're not supposed to be this good this early.
Woolridge knocks down the free throw. 10-6, the Bulls with the lead. Ivoroni for Doc, who popped around the cheek screen. Maurice looking to go inside, and nothing there. Caldwell now fronting Malone. Ivoroni the jumper. That won't go, but a whistle. As Darryl Garrettson makes the call, and it's on Michael Jordan. The rookie has his first foul. You know, Jack McMahon that was talking earlier this evening as Ivoroni raised up and was whacked and will be at the free throw line. Jack McMahon was talking about Jordan having the same kind of impact that Julius did when he came to the NBA. Other teams used to watch. You remember in Houston when they would sit and watch the screen, the other club wouldn't pay any attention to their coach. They were watching what Doc did on the replays.
That's almost the same line that I was talking about there as a broadcaster. Now, you just sort of watch the guy to wait for him to do something spectacular.
Ivoroni Makes it a 10-8 game and a tripping foul. It'll go against Clint Richardson.
His first, second team foul.
I mean, I thought that Kite's shoes in Boston were the worst I'd seen in the NBA, but Jordan's are all-timers. I don't mean the brand or anything, I just mean that
Illegal defense.
looks like he painted them himself.
Mark Iavaroni.
You know, illegal defense call.
One thing that's impressive, we'll get a chance to see Michael Jordan's shoes there, is the fact that he hasn't forced anything here early in the game. With all the hype, it's been 4 minutes we've played here almost, and he hasn't taken a shot and really hasn't looked to force anything.
Well, that shows, I think, Jock, maturity beyond a rookie.
That's what I'm saying. He's played in a program that's taught that.
Here he is from outside, and that won't go. Caromed off the rim, and Moses jerks the rebound away from Caldwell Jones. Cheeks for Iavaroni. Jumper, nope, that's way short, and Steve Johnson the rebound. Woolridge running the open floor, something he does extremely well. He scores.
He's an athlete. He's one of these guys that runs and jumps, and as you said, his strength is in the open court, and he's going hard at Moses Malone here. Moses is going to try to get back defensively. He turns the corner on him. I didn't see the foul, but they gave him a continuation, and he'll have an opportunity for a three-point play.
Well, and any time you get a guy like Woolridge with his kind of skills that you can get a defender backpedaling, you got a big advantage.
He's a terrific athlete. To watch him and the development he's made since he's come in here from Notre Dame has been very, very strong.
13-8. Chicago with the lead. 8:10 left in the first period. Clint from the top. Won't go this time. Jordan has it. Loops it ahead to Woolridge. Woolridge running in, spins it. Woolridge now with the 11 early on.
Chicago is very much of a transition team, Neil, as we talked about. You got to make them set up defensively.
Timeout taken with 7:51 left in the first period. 7:51 remaining to be played here in the first quarter. The Bulls lead it 15-8.
For performance that's miles ahead. Remember Getty. At Getty, the proof is at the pump.
Sixers go to work following their timeout. Orlando Woolridge for the big first period. Doc tips it back to Clint. Now Maurice firing over Watley and buries the jumper. Mo Cheeks with his second field goal. Now he has 4 and leads the Sixers in scoring. Jordan ahead to Watley. Watley, little stutter step move, and then forced it badly and missed it in the rebound. Moses gunned ahead to Cheeks in the run. Cheeks running hard to the hole. He scores.
Maurice did a nice job that time with his body. Saw Michael Jordan coming from behind, took a dribble into him and sealed him, and forced Michael Jordan to give him the room for the layup.
And had another option on the play as well as Charles Barkley has checked in. Charles filled the lane nicely on the other side. Inside, they get it to Steve Johnson, and he scores. Wow, has he improved?
Well, not only that, but you said something to me a while ago. He's very thin. I thought he was a lot heavier than that. He looks like he's lost about 20 pounds.
That's what he said to me before the game. About 20, and he hopes he can keep it off. Charles missed it. The rebound, Moses. Moses spinning, falling, firing, missing. The rebound loose. Picked back up by Moses. That's protected by Caldwell Jones. Cheeks, though, came back up with it, and then his whistle for an offensive foul.
Neil, that's what I was talking about. Caldwell Jones gives Moses a lot of room in the post. Moses thrives off bumping you, getting you off balance, and then just taking the ball to you. Caldwell gives him that kind of space, and then when he lets it go, goes up after the shot. But you have to have the kind of timing and agility that Caldwell has to be able to defend Moses like that.
Wow, he swatted that thing nearly out to the timeline. Watley against Mo Cheeks. Lob to Steve Johnson again. Johnson goes up. He scores again. It counts, and he's fouled. And Johnson plays well around the basket, Doug. Always has since he came into the league, but usually it was with little hooks. He looks, even though he's lost weight, it looks as if he's a bit more physical now than he used to be.
Well, a lot of times weight can be very deceiving. You can be heavy and not necessarily strong, but if you lose the weight and get wiry strong, you can actually, be a lot more effective. It looks to me like Steve Johnson has done that.
A 20-12 Chicago lead. Sixers operate again. Charles Barkley. Doc fires the jumper over Woolridge, and it rattled around and dropped. Doc with his second field goal. He has 4, Cheeks 6. The two leading scorers for the Sixers early on here. A 6-point Chicago lead with 5:56 left to play here in the first quarter. Jordan against Clinton. Jordan bounced to Steve Johnson again. Again, he tried to wheel in, and a whistle and an offensive foul. And that's one of the things that has plagued him in his career in the NBA, personal foul trouble.
When he was at Oregon State, I think he set an NCAA record not only for field goal percentage, but for most games fouled out.
He set one with the Kansas City Kings when he played there.
I know he really had problems in college as well.
Doc, where Barkley beat his man. That's Johnson, then bounced to Moses, who didn't anticipate it, and it rolls out of bounds.
Unselfish basketball there by Charles. Like you said, it sort of caught Moses by surprise there, but when Charles gets that kind of penetration, he really looks to make the pass.
Charles looking, trying to get it into Moses, and a whistle blows. A push foul, a dead ball foul. It's on Caldwell Jones.
That'll be a two-shot foul because, as you said, it was a dead ball foul. The ball was not in play yet, so even though the Sixers aren't in the penalty yet, it'll be a two-shot foul.
Moses to the free throw line. Ivoroni made a pair. And he was the only other Sixer to go to the line. Now Malone makes the first.
I was kidding David Greenwood before the game. I said Kevin Lockery said he's going to play you 45 minutes against Doc tonight. He looked at me and just sort of smiled. There's no way.
Moses makes a pair. So Moses, with a pair of free throws, has his first 2 points of the game. It is Jordan, Caldwell Jones, Greenwood, Woolridge, and Watley. As the Bulls come at the 76ers, Jordan dribbled dry, tried to dunk, and it's partially blocked by Moses. Hello. Here comes Doc. He glides in, goes up, missed it. Rebound, scramble for him, Jordan. The outlet for Watley, cross-court to Woolridge. Jumper, yes.
That's one facet of Orlando Woolridge's game that's improved. I thought when he came in, he didn't have that pull-up jump shot from 12, 14 feet.
Cheeks worked on by Watley at 22-16, Chicago lead. Little triangle there, and they get it to Malone. The jumper's good.
You're not going to stop that shot. You know, he fades away and got distance.
Here's a steal by Cheeks as Greenwood didn't see it coming. A little rush showed there.
I think he was trying to throw the ball back to Ennis Watley, and Michael Jordan sort of casually threw it, and it hit Greenwood as he was running up the court.
And Mo Cheeks alertly there, able to finish it off. Driving, Watley, and he just turned the corner and beat everybody.
Well, Maurice is getting no help on those screens right now. Somebody's got to jump out there and give Maurice a little help on those picks, or Watley will turn the corner all night.
24-20. Chicago. Moses doubled up. Jordan pokes it away, and here he comes. Jordan against Cheeks. Runs in and scores. Does he glide or what?
You know, you sit there and wait for him to say, hey, this guy's going to do something here soon. When you're guarding a guy like that, you just sort of hold your breath waiting for him to explode.
Wow. I mean, he just is like very similar to Doc. He just hangs in the air forever.
Well, so effortlessly.
Yeah. Doc, little pump fake, and now fires over Woolridge on the rim. It wouldn't drop, but Moses tips it in. Moses with his second field goal and his 6th point of the game. And the Sixers hanging right there, despite a pretty good spurt by the Bulls midway through the first period. We have 3:12 left to play in the quarter. Jordan, where Watley and Cheeks got after him and committed the foul.
And you know what the Bulls will do a lot, especially when they get teams in foul trouble, is they'll go to a 1-4 set and put Michael Jordan at the point and just spread the floor and let him take his man one-on-one, try to blow it down the lane and create opportunities or take it all the way to the basket. And you'll see that a lot in the fourth quarter, especially if the game is on the line. They'll go to Michael Jordan and just let him try to or get everybody else involved as well.
Watley makes the first free throw. Now, Quentin Daly has checked in for Michael Jordan, and Sadeo Threet has come on for Mo Cheeks. Maurice picking up his second personal foul as Watley completes the second free throw. 28-22. Sadeo for Bobby Jones, who's come on as well. Charles put it on the floor, fakes, good move, it wouldn't fall. Battle, Moses back up, that's blocked by Caldwell, but a foul. Foul is second. And a timeout taken by the Bulls now with 2:52 left to play here in the first quarter. The Bulls 28, the Sixers. 2:52 left to play, first quarter. The Bulls lead it 28-22 here at the stadium. Shooting for Chicago from the floor, 11 of 14. Sixers are 9 of 18. And the Bulls came into this game, Doug, I believe, shooting somewhere around 52% from the field.
Yes, they have. They've been a very good field goal percentage team. They've been holding their opponents to about 48%. The one thing that's been a weakness for them is they are not a very strong rebounding team. They're only out-rebounding their opponents by less than 1 rebound per game. So they're going to have to pick up in that area.
Moses with a pair of free throws, and the Sixers are within 4 now. Watley for Quentin Daly. Daly from outside, and a whistle and a 3-second violation. And let's pause here for station identification.
WPHL TV, Channel 17, Philadelphia.
Bulls by 4, Sixers with the ball. They swing it to Clinton, and it's poked away by Quentin Daly, who had his problems early on in the league, but probably is more comfortable, Doug, in that hole of coming off the bench.
Well, he's a very talented young man. As you said, he's had some personal problems, but one thing he can do is play basketball.
Sedale 3, poked away by Woolrich, but picked back up by Sedale. To Clint, the line drive jumper, short. Bobby the rebound. Bobby back up off the glass and scores. And we talked about the fact that Bobby, when he has the shot, instead of looking to give it up, has to take it, and he did there. And amazingly enough, used his right hand.
Yeah, normally you see Bobby sort of flicking up there with that left hand in that traffic area.
Watley for Corzine from outside. Corzine can't shoot it from out there.
Dave Corzine has struggled at home, Neil. He's 3 for 17 from the floor at Chicago Stadium. He just came off a 5-game road trip where he shot almost 53%. So the fans have been on him here, and I think it's affected him.
Corzine with the field goal, and now has to check Moses at the other end and commits the foul. He is one of the better passing big men in the league, Corzine.
Well, you know what happens is when Dave Corzine gets out there, you've got to respect his shot, and so you come out and it opens up passing lanes, whereas another center out there, you're really not going to think of him shooting the ball. He's going to lay back and cut down the passing lanes, and it just changes the whole complexion of the ball game.
Moses is 4 of 4 from the line with a pair of field goals, and now 5 of 5 from the line. 9 points in the game for Moses, and the Sixers draw to within 3. Minute 38 left, first quarter. Moses now 6 of 6 from the line. 30-28, Bulls with the lead in the ball, and here's Wes Matthews. Right side. Now Wes swings it daily, stripped and got it back, goes up, missed it, and the rebound, Bobby Jones. Outlet for Leon Wood, will have to track it down. Leon shovels nicely to Sedale. Now to Bobby, goes up and scores.
Very nice fast break there. Leon over to Sedale, who shoveled it to Bobby, finished it up with that left hand. That's 2 quick baskets by Bobby.
30 tie now. Woolrich had to work on Bobby Jones and couldn't do it. Now Corzine, the fall away. That won't go. Bobby, another rebound. Ahead in the middle to Leon, but then stolen by Greenwood. Daly driving, and that will not go, and the rebound Moses. To Sedale, and the Sixers just having trouble catching the ball now.
Well, Quentin Daly's not bashful. I tell you, he's come off the bench firing. He's taken about 4 shots in about 1 minute.
Leon Wood, the rookie against Wes Matthews. They battled each other throughout training camp and the preseason. And Wes guilty of the personal foul. Now Michael Jordan comes back in, and Orlando Woolrich will get a breather.
Michael Jordan will now be playing small forward. They might try to get him on track down there, and again, the flexibility factor. If he struggles a little bit at guard, move him down to forward. Maybe he can use his quickness and his athletic ability on a bigger player.
Leon makes the first free throw, and the Sixers, I'm not going to say it until after Leon shoots this one. He turns around, and the Sixers trying to, I think right now, get their defensive assignment set. I think they were a little confused when Jordan came back into the ball game.
Well, it looks to me like right now that Michael Jordan will be matched against Bobby Jones, and Bobby's going to have to give him room because of Michael's quickness, and if he's hitting the outside shot, it could pose a problem and maybe make Billy Cunningham with a matchup differential.
Sixers are perfect at the line. 10 of 10, I can say it now, to Leon drove the pair. And the Sixers have their first lead of the game at 32-30. Wes Matthews dishes to Corzine. He goes up. That's partially blocked, but Darryl Garrison has a call outside.
If you can hear the fans, you can hear them booing. They're on Corzine. Wes Matthews, great penetration. He dished over to Corzine, who couldn't handle the pass. He had an uncontested layup. Did get fouled, but Neil, it is so difficult as an athlete to play in your home arena and have the fans down on you. It's like you can't wait to go on the road to play. And a lot of guys are very good on the road and struggle at home.
Well, Kevin Lockery said that last year, before the arrival of Michael Jordan, that the Bulls actually enjoyed the road more than home and played better on the road, played much looser.
Well, if the fans get down on you, that can happen. There's a lot of teams like that.
He had another interesting quote as well that I alluded to earlier, and we'll get to it in a moment, concerning Jordan and Julius Erving. Here's Sadeo missing. Bobby, though, the rebound back up with the left hand, missed it. The ball rolls loose, and it's picked up by Wes Matthews, who throws it at the buzzer, and it comes up short. So, we have played one quarter here at a packed Chicago stadium, and we are dead even. The Bulls 32, the Sixers 32. We head for the second quarter, and we're all tied up at 32-32.
The Sixers are searching for the ultimate fan. Look for the iron-on decal in the Daily News on Monday, November 19th. Wear the decals of the Sixers game on Tuesday, November 20th against the Washington Bullets and get a 50% discount on the $12, $10, and $8 tickets. At halftime, the Sixers will conduct a contest to find the ultimate fan with valuable prizes to be awarded to the winner.
And we'll tell you more about that promotion coming up as Charles go. Wow. Good night. John, that frightens you, I think.
Left-handed.
Wow, did he wheel in? That has the crowd buzzing here as the Sixers lead 34-32. What I was going to talk about, the quote by Kevin Lockery in the paper here in Chicago, Doug, was, we're going to get a look at Charles first, and wow, goodbye, in your face.
You know, Michael Jordan there, let him go by him. I think thought he was going to defend his shot, and Charles said, thank you very much.
So rookie against rookie that time, and Charles won the battle. Daly driving, that's rejected by Moses, his second block of the game. Leon running. Leon stops, and Thompson missed it short. Greenwood ahead to Wes Matthews, looking for the lanes to be filled, and finally goes back to Jordan. Jordan pump fakes Bobby into the air and has it blocked by Moses.
I didn't realize Moses was such a rejector. He's throwing everything back tonight.
Well, you know, he's playing, as you described, Caldwell in the early going. He's giving a little ground and then coming with help for his teammates.
Normally, you don't see Moses go after that many shots, so to block him. I wouldn't consider him a guy who tries to block a lot of shots. I think he is a good shot blocker, but he doesn't go after everything.
Jordan makes the first free throw. What I was going to say was Lockery said in the paper, was quoted in the paper saying, was asked the question, have you ever seen a guy come into the league and do as many things well as Michael Jordan? He said, yes. I saw a greater player than Michael Jordan, Julius Erving, do it for many years.
Well, Julius won some championships there in New York, so.
Here's Malone falling and firing and sticking the jumper.
Moses is ready to go tonight. I think he's playing tough. He's doing it on both ends of the floor.
Now the Bulls will operate. Greenwood. Well, he goes to Daly. The jumper is good. But Greenwood, I was surprised that he came in as early as he did.
Kevin Lockery said he's in good shape for not playing, and he's going to throw him right to the fire tonight, so he's done that.
36-36 tie. Sixers swing the ball to Clement Johnson. His jumper won't go, and Corzine the rebound. The outlet is for West. To the middle. Swings it out to Jordan. To the hole. Goes up. Missed it, but a foul call. You know, it's amazing when you see people, as you watch Michael Jordan here, watch him play in the air. In the air, pumped, and then try to hook it up.
See, it's not fair for a guy to have that kind of ability to do all those kind of things in the air and get you to foul him. You're supposed to come down at some time. You're not supposed to, you know.
I'm saying you see a guy like Doc or Jordan who half their game is played up in the air. And a lot of people,
that's guys who played on the ground try to take charges on those guys, and it just doesn't work.
Jordan with another free throw coming and makes that. So Michael Jordan, 4 of 4 from the line and 6 points in the game. Leon. Now they swing it. Sedale, the rainbow, pretty good.
That's the shot Sedale's got to hit. He takes the ball to the basket so well. People are giving him that outside shot. He's got to bury that one.
Corzine at the point.
Well, here's the match everybody's been waiting for. Doc is now playing Michael Jordan.
They got it to Jordan inside off a loose ball. He missed it, and Moses the rebound. Doc got out in front of everybody, but they couldn't get it to him as Jordan and Greenwood finally got back. And covered. Leon Wood, the lob to Doc. Around Jordan, he scored. Well, hello, Mr. Jordan. Doc with a pretty bucket. As he caught it, and then with that one quick step. Here's Les Matthews. Comes it to Greenwood, and he will be fouled.
You know, Kevin Lockery as a coach does a real nice job at taking advantage of his players' strengths. He knows Wes Matthews has tremendous quickness, so he just spread the floor, let Wes take it to the basket. You see all the Sixers converging. Wes finding the open man, David Greenwood coming to the basket. Take advantage of a guy's strength and quickness. Spread the floor and just let him break you down defensively. That's what he did.
Greenwood. Missed it.
He's got to be so tired right now.
That's the first miss of the night, yeah.
You know, Neil, you can play in a pickup game 6 hours a day in the off-season and come into training camp and the first day swallow your tongue, you know, and he's coming in here with 20,000 people and probably the biggest hype game they've had here in a long time and trying to play. That's tough.
Well, the other thing is you talk about a pickup game or you can practice all summer or whatever, but there's two different kinds of being in shape, I guess you could say. There's playing shape, and then there's just being in good physical shape. Sedale. Now Leon darting into traffic and had it kicked loose. Picked up by Jordan. Jordan stolen by Doc. Julius, good pass to Moses. Wheeling, dealing, following and firing and traveling. Couple of trips down, Doc's kind of introduced himself to Mr. Jordan. Sedale reaching in with good help defensively, and Corzine tied up as he had Clement Johnson behind him, and then Sedale with help.
There was too much tightness in the pack in there to try to feed the post there. Michael's got to force Sedale out, or otherwise he's going to dive right back in there on the post, and we talked about early and quick double teams down low, and that's what Sedale did that time. If Sedale outjumps Dave Corzine of this jump ball, he'll really get booed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mark that one down.
Hey.
Get ready to mark it down.
I'm telling you, just listen. And
let's see if Sedale cheats a little bit here. Nope. But he's going to steal it.
That's a violation. He can't leave the lane like that. He cannot leave the lane until the ball is touched.
And Kevin Lockery, along with another one of your former teammates, Freddie Carter, arguing that very point. So the Bulls will have it out of bounds. What a heady play by Sedale, trying to get away with it.
Well, if you know you're not going to get the jump, you might as well try to do something else.
Here's Jordan, quick move, but he dribbled it off his leg and out of bounds. Sixers on the Jordan turnover, bring it up. 40-39, Philadelphia, with 8.5 to play here in the first half. Neil Funk with Doug Collins at the stadium in Chicago. Doc dribble drive. He will reach the finger roll and go. Moses is there. Moses the pump fake. That's blocked by Greenwood, but the follow by Clement is good.
Sixers got a big lineup now in there with Clement Johnson playing the power forward or Moses playing the power forward, whichever one you want to say, and they're both in there taking up a lot of space.
Well, right now, Clement playing Corzine, and Moses matched up with David Greenwood. Here's Jordan, the turnaround, bingo. Just his second field goal, though, as the Sixers have done a good job defensively on him. Leon Wood trying to hook a bounce pass into Doc, who was posted on Orlando Woolridge, and it was kicked by Wes Matthews. He will come out, and back into the game comes Quentin Daly. And Mo Cheeks checks in for the Sixers, and the rookie Leon Wood will take a seat. Fresh 24 on the kick by Chicago. Mo Cheeks. They swing it. Sadeo raises up and missed it short. Moses again the rebound. The jumper, nope. Tap Doc, nope. Rebound fought for, and a loose ball foul is going to be on Doc.
The Sixers are really doing a nice job on the offensive boards.
They're banging it.
And what that does, Neil, is that negates any open court play by the Chicago Bulls. It's tough to fast break when you're taking the ball out of bounds all night. But Julius is right there. Got a nice second effort and committed to foul, but they're camping on that offensive backboard.
Well, in our conversation with the Bulls people, Doug, before the game, they indicated that, and you touched on it briefly at the top, that they don't want to have to play a half-court game. They're much better if they can get an open court situation, or if they do have to play a half-court game, they can spread the floor a little bit and then let a Michael Jordan or an Orlando Woolridge go to work one-on-one.
That's why teams win playoff games, is because of being able to play half-court situations, and when the Bulls mature, they'll become that kind of team.
Woolridge looked at it over the screen set by Greenwood, but couldn't pull the trigger. Now dumps it to a posted Greenwood into the lane. Jump hook. Nope. Tapped up once by, and then Clement finally controlled. Sadeo rockets up the left side. Sadeo bounces out at the baseline to Mo Cheeks. That nearly worked. The Bulls did a good job to recover defensively. Now Cheeks trying to run on Jordan. Hooks it to Clement Johnson. Turns and looks. Cheeks against Jordan again. Off the glass. Missed it. And the rebound, Greenwood. I don't think that was the shot.
Oh, Maurice forced that one. That's very uncharacteristic of him.
Scene, the jumper, that won't go, and the crowd boos again.
Oh, boy, that's going to be a nightmare for him.
Here's Sadeo running and scoring. Well, the Sixers getting what they want, more of an open court game for them.
The difference is when the Sixers come down in a half-court game, they can clamp you defensively, and I don't think the Bulls can do that right now.
6:33 left and a timeout taken. The Sixers by a pair, 44-42. Back right after this. So Sixers by a field goal with 6:33 left to play here in the first half. And Steve Johnson returns for the Chicago Bulls. He'll work with Quentin Daly, along with Michael Jordan. Caldwell Jones also back in. Bulls have not shot the ball well here. Sixers have played them tough defensively. Steve Johnson to Daly. Jumper is no good. Moses skied for it and couldn't control it. Sadeo finally picks it out of the air. Street running. Sixers on the move. Hook to Doc. He goes up, stripped to the ball. Quentin Daly hurries the other way. Dumps it to Jordan. He goes up, missed that, and Clement Johnson collars the rebound.
This is the kind of the game the Bulls want to get in, up and down, and Philadelphia's got to be very careful.
Jumper baseline by Sadeo, as Street now has 3 field goals and 6 points. Quentin Daly. Or Woolridge. Nearly stripped by Sadeo. Came with good help. Woolridge knocked it in anyway.
That was a tough shot. Doc was hanging all over him, and he somehow got it in the basket.
Rs Chic, a native of Chicago. Sadeo pumps it in, low post to Moses, and he had Daly in the air. He had about 3 other guys ready to go in the air.
That's only the Bulls' first foul here in the quarter. The Sixers have already committed 5.
Well, the Sixers will inbound, sideline right in front of their own bench. Sadeo Malone fronted by Caldwell this time, and the ball batted around. It's going to belong to the Bulls. Well, Caldwell that time put his body on Moses. As you pointed out, most of the time, he prefers to play off of him. This time he fronted him, and they tried to dump it in there. Moses and threw it away. Here's Woolridge. No. Tap. No. Rebound Moses. Doc running. Julius against Jordan. Hooks it out to Sadeo. Shovels back to Cheeks. Cheeks to Clement. No, that wouldn't go down. Then a battle for it. Loose. Clement picks it up, and that won't go. Doc the rebound, and you were right, Doug. They are just hammering the Bulls on that offensive board, preventing the Bulls from getting any kind of running game going.
It's just very, very good effort. Steve Johnson tried to save the ball. Clement Johnson had a little medium-range jumper, couldn't get it in. Julius was almost out of bounds, came back in the play, and was able to get the rebound and draw the foul. Caldwell Jones is checked out of the ball game, and Dave Corzine is now back in.
Caldwell with 3 personal fouls. This is Doc one-on-one. Fires the jumper, scores.
Doc has such pride. I'm telling you, as a fan and as a friend, I just knew that when he came to this game tonight that he had certain things on his mind, and that was to play well.
Well, it was pretty evident he was out here. There's the ball stripped away. Here comes Sedale. The breakaway runs in and jams it as Jordan tried to catch him and fouled it. That's the third dunk which James Sedale have this year.
Sedale did the smart thing there, too. He knew Michael Jordan was coming behind him. Michael Jordan was frustrated from being stripped on the other end, and if Sedale had not gone up strong, he probably would have been able to prevent him from making the layup and had to shoot the 2 free throws. And Sedale has taken the ball to the basket very strong in the fast break.
Missed the free throw, and the rebound, Steve Johnson. Getting back to what you were saying about Julius, normally he and Moses don't come out to warm up before they get tonight. He was out with the rookies and everybody else shooting. Jumper from outside by Orlando Woolridge. Woolridge, leading the Bulls in scoring right now, has 18 first-half points. Sixers by 4, 50-46. 3:48 left. Doc, little stutter step move, trying to dart by Woolridge, and Woolridge got a hand on it. Doc got it back and then lost it. Here comes Jordan. The bounce to Daly. He blocked by Julius. He fouled him, but was that spectacular? Did he come to play or what?
Hey, see, a guy like Julius gets his shot blocked. He doesn't quit. You don't even see Julius in the play now. All of a sudden, here he comes. Quentin Daly could have used better judgment on that play and given the ball back to Michael Jordan for a dunk, but Quentin Daly has a scorer's, I don't want what he call a scorer's ego, where, right now the big thing for him is taking the ball to the basket and scoring. Kick that ball back to Michael Jordan, and you got an easy layup or a dunk there, Neil.
Doc will sit down, and Bobby Jones checks back in, but Doc had a spurt there that electrified the fans at both ends of the floor. Blocking shots, rebounding. Daly makes the free throw. Daly 1 of 2 now. He missed the first, made the second, and it's 50-47, Philadelphia. Moses against Corzine, goes to work on it. Jumper won't fall. And then Clement tried to get a hand on it. It's out of bounds. But again, the Sixers denying them any kind of a break opportunity.
Well, the Sixers are on the front line right now. Moses is, 6'10". Clement Johnson is 6'10", and Bobby Jones is 6'9". So they've got some big people in there who all can jump and who have good quickness.
Watley has come back on. Jordan, they go out high to Corzine and then cut off of him. Corzine looking. Bounces to Johnson posted. There's his patented move, and he missed that. A little baby hook in the lane. Cheeks. And a timeout taken as he got it up to the hash mark. 2:58 remaining to be played here in the first half. And the Sixers with a lead, 50-47. We'll be right back. 2:58 remaining to be played here in the first half, and the Sixers lead the Bulls by 3, 50-47.
It's 76ers Ski Cap night at the Spectrum Friday, November 30th, when the Sixers host the Portland Trailblazers. See rookie sensation Sam Bowie and the high-flying Clyde Drexler battle our Sixers. Then top off your evening wearing home a 76ers ski cap courtesy of Split Rock. That's the Sixers and Blazers on Ski Cap night at the Spectrum.
You'll probably ask me to bring you about 10 of those caps.
Yeah, I can use them in Phoenix.
Here's a little shovel from Bobby Jones to Moses, and it's out of bounds. They're going to give it to the Chicago Bulls. And again, a reminder that on Monday, November 19th, the Sixers looking for that ultimate fan for that ball game. Wear that iron-on decal. Come dressed up. Here is Jordan inside. Missed it in the rebound. Somebody got a piece of it, and Clement came away with it. Sedale like a rocket down the lane and batted out of bounds. It's going to belong to the Sixers. The Washington Bullets are in town on the 19th for that ultimate fan night. Dress up just like you were going to see Monty Hall.
You mean like your dress tonight? Is that
similar? Here's Moses. Oh, what a ball away that was. He shot that coming down. 52-47. Wadley with a bone high dribble crosses the timeline against Mo Cheeks. Steve Johnson thought about his hook, and now Watley loses it out of bounds. Jimmy Durham nearly caught it.
We can see the Bulls struggling in set offense. When they have to come down and run a play, they're not real comfortable right now at this point of the season.
Mo Cheeks from outside. Nope. The rebound, Moses, and then he lost the handle, and they're going to give it to Chicago, and Moses thought he was hammered.
Seems like every rebound that's going up tonight, Moses is getting a hand on it, either off the offensive or defensive board. He's everywhere.
Well, between he, Clement, and Doc, if they haven't come away with the rebound, they've at least deflected it.
Or kept it alive.
Yeah. Woolridge in traffic. That won't go, but a foul call on Bobby Jones, and to the line goes Orlando Woolridge out of Notre Dame.
That's very intelligent play by Orlando Woolridge there. He knew Bobby Jones had committed himself, left his feet, so instead of just being satisfied with a little jump shot, he took the extra dribble and sort of leaned into Bobby, drew the contact, and was able to earn the 2 free throws. The Sixers in this quarter have not scored a free throw, Neil, by the stats that were given us. They're 9 for 21 from the floor. The Bulls are 7 for 10 from the free throw line, which has kept them in this ball game. Otherwise, they'd be really trailing.
Woolridge makes a couple here, and it's 52-48, and we saw a game last night, Doug, in Detroit where we didn't see a whole lot of free throws shot, particularly in the first half of the game. Bobby Jones. Cheeks, Richardson, Malone, Clement, Johnson rounded out. Bobby, nice drive, won't go. The tap, though, kept alive by Clement. Cheeks a little fake. Now Clement the jumper. That won't go. Bobby kept it alive. Finally, the Bulls come away with it. Watley to Jordan, and he threw it away again.
Ennis Watley has a tendency sometimes to commit himself in the air, either to the pass or the shot. That time he jumped and saw no one, threw the ball behind Michael Jordan, which ended up in a turnover.
That's why they tell you not to leave your feet
unless you're going to fly.
That's right. Bobby couldn't save it at the end line, unless you definitely are committed to one thing or the other.
Well, I always felt like I always left my feet with the idea, if I'm leaving my feet, I'm a shooter. And at the last moment, if you have to pass, fine. But if you leave your feet to be a passer, it's very difficult then to become a shooter.
Yeah, well, if Watley had decided to become a shooter from there, he would have won $1 million. And he would have been in Kevin Locker's doghouse. Forzine has drawn Clement outside. This is Woolridge. That won't fall. And Clement, another rebound. The outlet is for Clint Richardson. Had 18 last night against the Detroit Pistons. An outstanding defensive job against Kelly Tripucka. And here's an illegal defense call against the Chicago Bulls.
Steve Johnson standing in the lane guarding no one, trying to protect against the lob pass to Moses Malone. And as pointed out by Darryl Garrison, will only be a warning and a resetting of the shot clock.
And a 20-second timeout here. A 20-second timeout with 32 seconds. All that remains to be played in the first half. The Sixers leading the Bulls 52-48. Stay tuned to Channel 17 following the Sixers game for a murder mystery adventure starring Sidney Toler in Charlie Chan in Murder Over New York, right here on The Great Entertainer. Now, did I mess that up or not?
No, it was good.
Sidney Toler and Charlie Chan in Murder Over New York.
I just like some of the titles for some of those movies.
Right here on...
You and Your Bizarre. And...
Oh, I like that. That's the greatest word in the world, bizarre. I'm going to start using that. Remember the guy in the Superman comics, Bizarro? He was one of the villains, one of Superman's villains.
I never had any comic books when I was a kid, so I was always playing ball, Neil. Either that or studying.
52-48. Sixers by 4, and Cheeks will just hold the ball out as Billy called the 20. Wanted to set up the play. Everybody just standing, almost motionless now. Now they start to move. Clint flashes. They bounce to Moses. Against Forzine, the jumper won't fall, but there's Mo Cheeks for the rebound. Cheeks trying to hook it back to Clem Johnson and a foul call. And again, the second shot opportunity.
The Sixers tried to milk the clock down there. It'll only be the 4th team foul on the Bulls. It still has not been the second in the last 2 minutes, so Therefore, the Sixers will not shoot a free throw. They have 7 seconds in which to try to get a shot off and score.
Inside Moses, knocked away by Steve Johnson and a foul call. He almost bent Moses in half. That's 3 on Steve Johnson. So Johnson has 3, Caldwell Jones 3, and their big people beginning to work their way into foul problems.
I tell you, I would not want to guard Moses Malone. I tell you, of all the guys in the league, I'd rather not guard. It would be him because he just will wear you out. I mean, he's always moving. He's banging you. The minute you think that you can relax a second, he might be tired. He'll throw in 3 or 4 or get 3 or 4 rebounds. He's relentless, Neil.
Moses at the free throw line, where he is 6 of 6 and now 7 of 7. I remember last night in the Detroit game, we thought he was banged pretty hard in the back, and he came kind of hobbling off the floor, and after a 20-second timeout, he was right back out there, and he really took off then.
The next time he touched the ball was a 2-hand power dunk in traffic.
He is 8 of 8 now from the free throw line. They get the ball to Woolridge, their leading scorer in the game. Woolridge on the dead run, no, and hit the front of the rim and carried away. So, the Sixers go to the locker room with a 54-48 lead, and they did it, Doug, by virtue of just pounding relentlessly on the glass on the backboards. They just denied the Bulls anything and got a lot of second and third shots themselves.
Well, I think that, and I think that they did a very good job in the set defense. They forced the Chicago Bulls to set up. Michael Jordan was very quiet, had only 8 points. They were really a one-man attack. I think Woolridge had 18 in that first half.
Okay, the Sixers lead the Chicago Bulls 54-48 as we are at halftime. Stay tuned now. We're center court. Some travel arrangements. Well, the 76ers, Doug, despite the fact that it's just a 6-point lead, you look at the stats, you would think it could be much, much bigger.
Well, it would be if the Sixers weren't shooting 41% from the floor here in the first half. They've dominated the backboards. They've 31 rebounds to 15. The Sixers have got 15 second shot opportunities. And, Neil, we've talked about many times that those second shot opportunities just change the ball game drastically. It's kept Michael Jordan in check. He's only attempted 7 shots, and he's not been in the open court but one time tonight for an opportunity to score.
And the other thing, Doug, that the Sixers do, and they probably do it as well as any team in basketball, when they come out defensively and fully intend to get after people, when they did not get a second shot opportunity or a rebound or keep the ball alive around the rim, when Chicago was able to rebound it, the Sixer guards were able to stop them and get after people down here at quarter court and prevent them from getting any kind of a break started.
Well, Philadelphia uses their defense so well, and guys like Rs Chic, Sadale Threet, these guys with their quickness, and Clint Richardson defensively can get up and pressure the guards. So when you come across half court, you've eaten up time on the shot clock, and now everything is broken down for you. So other than Orlando Woolridge with 19 points in the first half, everyone else was very, very quiet for the Chicago Bulls.
Well, in that first half for Philadelphia, Moses Malone had 16, and then the rest of the scoring pretty well balanced as everyone who played scored at least 2 points.
Well, Clement Johnson gave the Sixers a big lift. He had 7 rebounds in 13 minutes, 3 on the offensive board, and I thought that his presence in there with the big lineup really gave Philadelphia the dominance inside, forced Chicago into a lot of matchups they didn't like.
When was the last time you can remember a Sixer team worrying about stopping a Chicago Bulls fast break?
Well, in a long time. You know, I know the years that I was playing here when you had Jerry Sloan and then Dick Motta was the coach here, and it was a slow-down type of game. But Kevin Lockery has a collection of athletes here who are going to thrive in that open court situation. If they're going to be a contender later on, and Kevin Lockery knows this, they're going to have to become a much better half-court team.
Well, and the Sixers, some outstanding defenses. They blocked shots, and as we said, checked off very well, particularly on the offensive board. And Clement with a good first half, a very solid first half, took some pressure off of Moses and allowed him to go to work.
You know, Neil, I looked at the Bulls' schedule. I don't know if you had an opportunity to look at it before the game or not, but they played the Celtics here on Thursday, which is a tough team. They got the Sixers here. They play Monday against Indiana. Then they go on the road for 7 straight games. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on this young team because of their great start. And right now, I think they're feeling themselves around and finding out that the elite, the Bostons and the Philly, are still maybe a notch ahead of them right now.
Now, Boston, a ball club that certainly has played well against the Bulls, and I think they probably play them very similarly to the 76ers and their approach to playing Chicago now.
Well, the Celtics came in here the other night on Thursday and just dominated on the boards. I mean, just Maxwell with 30, Kevin McHale with 25. Bird only had 14, but he had 17 rebounds. Parrish had 17 rebounds. Philadelphia's beating them in low right now.
And the Sixers bring it up to begin the third quarter, leading by 6. Bobby Jones gets the start, and Doc banks one in off the right wing.
Billy is going to Bobby again here in the third quarter, similar to what he did last night in Detroit, and Philadelphia got up to a very good start, especially on the defensive end of the floor.
Here's Doc poking it away from Orlando Woolridge. So again, the Sixers getting into the passing lanes, deflecting the ball, and just generally playing the same kind of defense that they played last night. Let's see if they can turn it on the second half as they did against the Pistons. Caldwell Jones, who's in a bit of foul trouble. Right side for Woolridge. Double clutched and blocked by Clinton and batted out of bounds by Woolridge as Clint tried to make the outlet.
Michael Jordan the other night went scoreless against Detroit Pistons, came through with 25 second-half points. So do not judge Michael Jordan for that first-half performance. He's a tremendously explosive player and can turn it on at any time.
Bobby, baseline, missed it. Clint, though, the follow. There's another offensive rebound and a shot that wouldn't fall, and Caldwell Jones found the rebound. Watley against Cheeks, got out of control, and an offensive foul on Watley. Well, he had just made up his mind at the 10-second line that he was going to take it all the way to the bucket.
Well, Maurice Cheeks does such a smart job. He doesn't get his hands out there to stop Ennis Watley. He sort of backs off of him and let him force the contact, and then did the smart thing, acted, fell back a little bit, and put the onus on the official to make the call.
Maurice working with Clint Richardson, Julius Erving, Moses Malone, and Bobby Jones. Bobby has a seam down the lane, wouldn't fall. Bobby, an offensive rebound, back up. That won't fall, but he's fouled. So, another offensive rebound. The Sixers just hammering them on the board. Greenwood will come on as Steve Johnson comes off. Johnson with 4 personal fouls now. So he will take a seat on the Kevin Lockery bench as Bobby eyes the bucket and makes the first freebie.
Neil, I got a little trivia question here for you. Who is Orlando Woolridge's uncle?
You know what? I know this. Give me about 30 seconds. Willis Reed.
That's right.
And a timeout as the Sixers again pressured, and Chicago just looking confused right now. The Sixers lead at a 20-second timeout, 58-48 at this juncture of the ball game. Watch the classic comedy of Abbott and Costello on Movie Time 17 tomorrow at noon. In Abbott and Costello meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde right here on Channel 17. Now, I love Abbott and Costello. And you are kind of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yes, I am.
That's tomorrow, right here on The Great Entertainer. Don't forget, on the 19th at the Spectrum, Sixers searching for the ultimate fan. So dress up.
Neil, I really look right now for the Chicago Bulls. They've got to get the ball to Michael Jordan, and they've got to let him get himself untracked there. He's been very, very quiet, just almost totally non-existent in their offense, and they've got to get him the ball and let him start to work a little bit.
Cheeks just pressuring Watley, and the shot clock's already down to 12. And Watley hasn't even set up yet. Now he goes to Caldwell Jones. 7 on the shot clock. Michael Jordan. Lob to Woolridge. Woolridge just spinning, walks, but he knocked it in. They're not going to call the travel. And Woolridge has gone over 20 now for the ball game. No Cheeks. Bobby Jones flashes a lob to Julius, and it just the pass a hair too high. Here comes Jordan in the open court. He runs into Bobby Jones, and the foul is going to go against Bobby.
Did you feel the crescendo in the building picking up? The closer Michael Jordan got to the basket there, you could hear the fans.
It's very similar when he gets out in the open floor to the Philly fans when Charles Barkley or Doc get out in the open court. Well, the Bulls will set up in a half-court offense again. Jordan from outside. Nope. Rebound Moses at the baseline. Cheeks in a hurry. Use Doc, and then swings it up top to Julius. Doc for Bobby Jones. Back in the lane to Doc, and he walked. Good job defensively that time.
Well, Steve Johnson forced that time. David Greenwood. He stepped out there and forced Julius after he caught the ball. He just sort of bumped him enough to force him into the trap. If he had not hedged on that screen, Julius would have had an easy layup.
Watley. Woolridge, he wants to pull the trigger again. He forced that one badly, and Moses counters the rebound.
Well, they will not beat Philadelphia shooting that kind of shot.
Doc shovels nicely to Clint baseline. Clint up top to Mo Cheeks. The rainbow, nope. The rebound, Greenwood. Watley. Woolridge, and now Jordan. That won't fall. He can't get anything to drop. Moses, another board. Sixers in a hurry. Now they set up. Moses. Just off the box, left side, turnaround jumper, sticks it.
Wow, that's a tough shot. I mean, he took a 10-footer and turned it into a 17-footer and not hit nothing but the bottom of the floor here at the Chicago Stadium.
A 60-50 Sixer lead. Caldwell Jones poked away. Here comes Malone running. Jordan trying to track him down, and Moses beat it. Maurice set it up as he poked it away, and then Moses was all over the ball. And now Kevin Lockery wants another timeout. 8:16 left to play in the third quarter. The Sixers 62, the Bulls 50 by 12, 62-50 with 8:16 left to play here in the third period.
For performance that's miles ahead, remember Getty. At Getty, the proof is in the pump.
Here's a steal by Bobby Jones. Bobby to the hole. He jams with two hands. Well, the Sixers just eating the Bulls up now defensively.
The Bulls have scored 2 points here in the first 4 minutes of this third period.
Watch Cheeks and Clint challenging their guards. Daly forced it, missed it. Moses, the rebound, tapped it out to Clint, and the whistle blew. Let's pause here for station identification.
This is WPHL TV, Channel 17, Philadelphia.
Cheeks. Check by Quentin Daly. For Clint. Sixers really executing, especially at the defensive end. Here's Moses from outside. Nothing but net there.
And you know what? When you shoot like that, it makes that execution even look better. Quentin Daly's into the ballgame. Excuse me, Neil, right now, trying to find some offense. They've got to find someone now who can put the ball in the basket.
They got it to Daly. Raises up, and the jumper good. There it is. Daly with the field goal. His second of the game and his fifth point, but at the other end, Doc with the easy one as they're just beating the Bulls back down the floor.
Oh, a great pass by Clint there. Nice soft alley-oop. Didn't try to be too fine with the pass. Julius had great position and laid it in.
Outside Daly and good again. Well, you called it. Don't look at me like you're so proud of yourself.
I'm not. They got to find somebody that can score. I mean, right? Nobody was putting the ball in the basket.
Cheeks. Well, Bobby Jones now. Moses with the lob. The turnaround. He was hit, slips to the floor, and the Bulls come away with it. Jordan and the crowd roaring again as he runs and fishes off and Woolridge can.
Got to keep this crowd out of the game. Philadelphia now bring the ball up the floor, use the shot clock, take the crowd out of the game and get a good shot here in the set offense.
Maurice. Inside Doc, and there's the good shot.
So now you take the crowd, that dunk and all that stuff in the open court is meaningless now because the Sixers came down and put that to rest in a hurry.
Doc with 14 and surprisingly has not been to the line. Everything from the floor. And now Darryl Garrettson. A little stoppage of play. And let's see what we got here. Well, the Bulls, Kevin Lockery and Freddie Carter want to get their substitutes in, but Darryl Garrettson doesn't allow that. Charles Barkley also at the scorer's table right now. Jordan. High post to Caldwell Jones. Woolridge. Inside, Caldwell tipped away. Flint went down hard, bounced back to Michael Jordan, lays it off with a bounce, and Woolridge stuffs it home and walked with it.
But Orlando Woolridge here gets a fine pass from Michael Jordan, and then he steps with the ball. He picked up that pivot foot, but Bobby did a nice job here defensively for Philadelphia to get him off to a good start here in this period.
Inside, Maurice sneaking down the lane. He found his seam angling in from left to right.
Maurice also got kicked in the thigh prior to that, and he's hurting a little bit right now.
Jordan, with his club down 72-56. Ball handles Woolridge, who had a big first half, but has been shut down here in the second half. Greenwood against Charles Barkley. Jumper, nope. Moses again cleans the board. I mean, the Sixers are boxing off, and there's just not a rebound there for Chicago.
As well as Philadelphia played last night against Detroit, they're playing much better tonight. The intensity here is unreal in the Sixers' face.
72-56. Maurice Cheeks. Jordan steals it. Here he comes. Jordan running down the lane, changed his mind in midair and missed it.
How about who came over there to make him change that shot?
Yep.
Mr. Irving.
Moses, the fall away again, bang again. Well, I tell you, he loves that spot. We ought to mark that off with a crayon down there.
See, you know, there's not a center in the league who can do anything with that shot right now. You could bring out a guy with a tennis racket. Moses is fading away and shooting that shot. No one is going to stop that shot.
Quentin Daly, who knocked in a couple of jumpers coming off the bench. Woolridge had his pocket picked, but a reach-in foul. But again, the Sixers, Billy applauding. Even though there was a foul in the play, they're just pressuring. They're doubling up on the ball, coming with help.
Well, they've outscored the Bulls here in this third quarter, 20-8.
And it is a 74-56 Sixer lead as Woolridge toes the line. Woolridge in the air and makes. And Billy's going to want a 20 here. A 20-second timeout for the 76ers, who lead this game 74-57 with 4:23 left to play here in the third period. Join your host, Rod Serling, for a journey into the strange, the bizarre, and the unknown on Night Gallery. Weeknights at 10:30 right here on Channel 17, the great entertainer. Night Gallery, and there's that word again, bizarre. Charlie Stopak, our producer, director, father figure, in the truck doing his usual stellar job. That is bizarre. Woolridge at the free throw line for the second one and makes. Now let's see what Billy has set up as he took the 20. 74-58. Cheeks battled by Quentin Daly.
Showing trap here. The Bulls are trying to pick up the tempo and show trap.
Doc floats in, finger roll. Nope, but the tap in by Moses is good. Kevin Lockery thought it was goaltending, but Darryl Garrison says no, and Moses gets the hoop. But Mr. Irving showed a little something there as he changed in midair. Jordan, a little stop and go move on Clinton. Daly has the open jumper from the elbow and knocked it in.
You notice how the Bulls' offense, though, right now, is it's like they're looking for one guy. They're not in sync. It's either this guy does it or that guy. They're not doing it together, and I think that's what the Sixers do so well.
Here it is again. Doc with a great feed, and Cheeks just kind of running, not even backdoor. He just a little give and go.
Well, the Sixers saw the double team. Julius got rid of it, and nobody even came over to help out. Maurice shot that one from his waist.
Maurice, a holding foul. As he tried to fight his way over a screen. Sedale Treat will check in.
That's Maurice's fourth personal foul, so he'll have to take a rest. But now you bring in a Sedale Treat who has tremendous quickness and is a very, very good defensive player. So he'll just keep up that same kind of intensity level.
Greenwood. Doubled up by Barkley and Sedale and a whistle. It's on Sedale, but he came and he doubled. Sixers doubling almost every time the Bulls make a pass. Somebody's coming with help. Daly. Swung to Michael Jordan. Jumper is good. But just his third field goal of the game.
I think he's about 3 for 12 from the floor. I was counting. I think he's 1 for 5 this quarter. He had 2 for 7 at the half.
Sedale Treat bouncing it in to post it up Julius Erving, and he was pushed from behind. And a timeout taken by the Philadelphia 76ers, who lead the Bulls 78-62 with 78-62. The Sixers with 2:57 left to be played here in the third quarter. Shooting has not been good for the Chicago Bulls, but an interesting tidbit, Doug. The Bulls, if you look at their club right now, something like 9 #1 draft picks.
Well, they've done a nice job. Right now, they're just a young team trying to put it all together, and I think they're learning a lesson here the last 2 nights against Boston and Philadelphia.
Sedale Treat for the veteran Doc. Julius will fire from outside. That's there. He measured that, baby.
Sixers are shooting 12 for 19 in this quarter.
At 80-62, Sixer lead. They have blown things open here in the third period. Daly against Threet, and stripped of the ball by Sedale, then tried to save it back in, but was on the inline when he did so. Very reminiscent, Doug, of the third quarter last night at the Silverdome.
Well, the Sixers are just taking them out of everything they want to do.
Here's a whistle and an offensive foul.
David Greenwood setting a screen.
Well, the Sixers get it right back. Sedale. Sideline left.
Look for an alley-oop for Barkley here. See if no, they didn't run at that time.
Doc looked for it and then knocked in the jumper. He looked at Charles, but Charles couldn't fight his way into the lane. But Doc with a hot hand right now. Julius with 18, all from the field. Woolridge driving, that won't go.
Blocked by Julius.
Doc will push it out himself. Goes to Moses, who catches, raises up, and missed it. One of the few misses he's had in this period. Jordan running, bounces to Woolridge, sliding in, he scores, and he's fouled. Nicely done. Sedale
In the bonus, Wes Matthews checks in for Michael Jordan.
Reaching in. Good pass by Michael Jordan.
When he gave the ball up to him at a good time, Orlando Woolridge has the ability to put it on the floor, so he gave it to him in enough time where Orlando Woolridge could get his steps together and find out who was ahead of him and get the bucket and draw the foul.
Woolridge will try for the bottom end of the three-point play. Doc comes out of the game. And here's Charles Barkley with the rebound off the miss by Woolridge. Bobby Jones, Charles Barkley, Moses Malone, Sedale Threet, and Clint Richardson now. Bobby inside Charles, bangs his way into the lane and then missed it short. Bobby the foul. That hit the bottom of the rim and bounces away. And they're going to give it to the Sixers. Charles put his body on not just one guy, but 2. Clint, nope. Here come the Bulls running. Wes Matthews shovels and Woolridge stuffs with the left hand.
You know, Jim Durham, the announcer for the Bulls, told me before the ballgame, people don't understand that Orlando Woolridge is really left-handed. So when you see him do something like that, although he does shoot the ball right-handed, he's actually left-handed in everything else he does.
Yeah, right with his left hand.
A lot like Bobby Jones.
Charles Barkley. He's a pump fake and then backs away with one dribble and has it stolen. Quentin Daly against Sedale, who slipped. Daly gets the hook.
Sixers have to be very careful here. They've done a great job defensively. Don't want to let this slip away by turning the ball over here and giving the Bulls some easy baskets.
Bobby Jones to Charles. Barkley in the air. That's going to be short. He was hit, but no call. Daly running again. Daly blocked by Barkley. Foreseeing the follow, though.
Charles, here in this last 3 possessions, has had the turnover, and he's actually forced 2 shots. And now it's a 12-point lead going to 11 here if he makes this free throw. Charles needs to get a little bit more composed and take his time. The Bulls right now, Neil, are trapping. If you take your time, you're going to get an easy shot. You don't need to force anything.
And the last three of the last 4 trips up the floor, the Bulls have been able to run.
And that's all because they forced the Sixers into an up-tempo game by forcing him into a quick shot. Charles just got a little impatient, and that will happen with a rookie sometimes after he's been on the bench for a while.
Here's another near steal, but Sedale gets away from Wes Matthews. Sedale nearly lost it for Bobby Jones. Now Moses and a whistle. Daryl Garrison stops it. Now is on David Greenwood. Leon Wood comes back on. But Richardson comes off. So now it is Leon Wood, Sedale 3. Moses Malone. Bobby Jones and Mark Ivoroni.
This is Bobby's strongest offensive game that I've seen this year. Neil, he's taken the ball to the basket, had a couple dunks on breakaways.
He's looking for a shot more, I think.
I think that when he does that, he's such a much more effective basketball player. He forces that guy playing him now to play defense also.
Bobby makes it an 84-71. Sixer lead. Here's Michael Jordan, and the Sixers force another turnover. Well, this quarter has been really two different quarters. The Sixers first blowing the Bulls out, and then the Bulls making a run right back at the Sixers.
Well, the Bulls have a quick lineup in there right now. Michael Jordan again down at forward with Wes Matthews and Quentin Daly on the floor.
10 seconds left. Sedale double clutched and missed it, but will go to the line to shoot a couple. 7 seconds left in the third period. 84-71. As Sedale 3 is at the free throw line. And that won't go. Hit the rim on the left side heavy and bounced away. And he missed the second. That one also long off the back of the rim. Greenwood ahead for Daly. 2 seconds. He throws it the length of the floor, and it caroms off the glass. 84-71, the Sixers with a lead at the end of 3 periods. Fourth and final period coming up. Sixers with an 84-71 lead at this point.
It's 76ers Ski Gap night at the Spectrum Friday, November 30th, when the Sixers host the Portland Trail Blazers. See rookie sensation Sam Bowie and high-flying Clyde Drexler battle our Sixers. Then top off your evening wearing home a 76ers ski cap courtesy of Split Rock. That's the Sixers and Blazers on Ski Cap night at the Spectrum.
Corzine will be at the free throw line as we begin the fourth period, as he drew the personal foul underneath.
It'd be interesting now, Neil, to see if the Bulls keep trapping. The Sixers have a team in the ball game right now where not a lot of scores on the floor. Mark Ivoroni and Bobby Jones at the forwards, Leon and Sedale at the guards, and Moses in the middle. So the bulk of the scoring right now is going to have to come from Moses alone. It'll be interesting to see if the Bulls really try to double team and force him into up-tempo again to try to create some turnovers.
Corzine makes a pair of free throws. For the first time tonight, is rewarded with something other than boo. Now they're trying to trap the Bulls. Hey, is Ivoroni laid it off, and 3 seconds called.
Now he called traveling on Mark. That's what I'm talking about, a quick turnover, Neil. Get him to do something they don't want to do right now and get the ball back.
Wes Matthews. Out high to Corzine. Daly, who apparently is a designated shooter right now.
Well, he's one of these guys that can miss 10 in a row and take the 11th one and think he's hot. You know, oh, there's another steal by Wes Matthews.
Battling on the floor, and it's out of bounds. Street, along with West.
You know, they reset the shot clock. I don't know whether there was ever possession. If I were Kevin Lockery, I'd be upset, and he is.
He is, yeah. He's running down the sideline, and now a block foul against David Greenwood as the Sixers try to run it up the left sideline. And Kevin is still hot.
See, they should. I don't think there was ever a change of possession, so the clock should not have been reset to 24.
Well, now Daryl Garrettson.
You see Kevin there, and he's telling the official that right now.
Daryl's got to tie his shoe. And now we are ready. Leon. Right hand dribble for Bobby out high. high. There's the lob to Moses. Poked away. Tap back to Moses. Moses goes up. Missed it with a foul call.
Sixers very fortunate there. They actually turned the ball over and bounced back into Moses' hand right underneath the basket, and he's able to power it up and get fouled.
But they looked for Moses off the set play, off the set offense.
Well, when you look at the lineup right now, Sedale can score some points. What Billy's really doing right now is buying time and resting Julius and Maurice and these guys to get them back in the ball game. If the Bulls make a little run right now, the Sixers got to fight it off until they can get their starters back in the ball game.
And, of course, we remind you again that the Sixers still without Andrew Toney, who has the bad ankle and did not make this trip with the Sixers. Hopefully he will be well soon. Wes Matthews. Jordan thought about it, now fires and missed it. Moses, boy, he's just cleaning house in there.
You don't like to be critical, but Michael Jordan, if you're struggling from outside, take it to the hole in there, create something. Don't just pull up and fire.
Sedale, again looking for Moses, posted. They dump it to him just off the box, low left side. Turnaround jumpers, good again.
How about that? It just breaks your back, doesn't it?
Yep. 10 field goals, 10 free throws, 30 points for Moses. He's had some week.
You know, it's scary when you think about Will Chamberlain one year averaged over 50 points a game.
Greenwood wanted to pull the trigger and didn't. Now Corzine will, and he scores.
They're going to trap her. They're going to show trap.
They're going to zone up, too. Watch this. There's Matthews, poked it away, but it's out of bounds, and 17 on the shot clock.
The Sixers only have 3 seconds to get the ball across half court. If they'll pressure, see, Michael Jordan there should never have let that pass come.
Ibaroni. Now 3. 9 on the shot clock. Moses again. The ball away. No, this time. Ibaroni, the offensive rebound. Loose. Picked up by Corzine. Flipped ahead to Wes Matthews. Matthews bangs into Leon Wood, and an offensive foul. Now, I'd have to see it again, Doug, but I thought it was a pretty good call. Now, maybe he jumped into his path. And we're going to see it again.
Wes is so quick. I thought that Wes ran right over the top of Leon. He had good position there. The only thing Leon did maybe was put his hands out, but I think that was more out of protection.
Leon. For Sedale, there's Moses wheeling, dealing, and scoring. Moses with a big night. Has his 11th field goal and his 32nd point. 90-77. The Sixers with the lead. 9:14 left. Greenwood,
that was a nice move there. Swinging to the weak hand and throwing a little left hand jump hook off the glass.
90-79. Sedale. For Bobby. Sixers being a bit more patient now. Reek the lob to Moses again. Trying to go up, and a foul call. Well, I don't think you need a scouting report right now to tell what the Sixers are going to do. They're going to swing the ball if they can, but they're going to try and find Moses posted left side or right side right off the box.
Again, you know, Julius is checking in for Bobby right now, which is going to give the Sixers more offense. But when Moses was out there with that group of people, they knew that they had to get him the ball. That's their bread and butter with that lineup. That's their bread and butter with any lineup, but especially with the 5 people Billy had in that combination.
Moses makes the first free throw. He's perfect at the line of the night, 11 for 11. To go along with the 11 field goals. And now he's 12 of 12.
He had 11 rebounds in the first half, so he's approaching 20 rebounds now also.
8:46 remaining here at the stadium in Chicago. Neil Funk with Doug Collins. Driving Jordan, and he tried to penetrate that time, but hit the end line. But he did, as you suggested, Doug, that time. Instead of looking for the perimeter shot, he tried to take it inside on the drive. Turned it over, however. Mo Cheeks. Now Ibaroni, that's poked away by Jordan. Greenwood whips it ahead, and Jordan has it, and he's fouled by Sedale, but a pretty good foul there.
Yeah, you don't want to let Michael Jordan get it cranked up in the open court. When you got a guy quiet, keep him quiet.
Well, I think Jordan, he's just a rookie, of course, and there's no question that he's going to be a great, great player for a lot of years, assuming that he stays healthy in this league. But I think the past couple of games, one against the Boston Celtics and now tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers, he's finding out that life in the NBA is a little tougher than he might have anticipated after his start.
Well, not only that, but when you're a superstar, every night somebody's out to prove that they're able to play in this league, and you've got to be ready to gear it up. And not that he hasn't geared it up tonight, but, you know, he's playing against superstars himself.
Mo Cheeks. 92-81. Cheeks circling with 9 on the shot clock. Sedale 3 and a whistle and walking call.
Sedale gets called a lot for that travel. Last night he got called twice. I don't know if he hops with his foot or whatever, but he gets called quite often for that traveling violation.
Michael Jordan. For Daly, and he walked. A little shuffle right there at the free throw line. 92-81. The Bulls have closed a bit, though, Doug. They're climbing back in it with a lot of time left.
There is a lot of time, and 11 points in this league. We get a chance to see Billy Cunningham there, but 11 points in this league is 5 possessions, and that's maybe 2 minutes on the clock.
Mo Cheeks. Clint, and now Doc on the wing, free throw line extended. Goes back to Cheeks, running right-hander misses, and Corzine the rebound. Ahead to Daly. Daly takes it to the hole and missed it. The rebound tapped around, and Barkley has it. Charles running hard. Charles into the lane, powers across the lane, and a hooking foul on Charles Barkley. But I wanted to point out something, Doug. At the other end, again, Daly probably could have given the ball up, and they would have gotten a better shot out of it than he got.
You know, you don't want to say it's a selfish play because he is so confident in his offensive ability, but when you got people down there who can do other things, you got to dish that ball off, and that's only going to make you better in the long run.
Here is Michael Jordan.
They're going to go 1-4 right here.
Yep.
That's what we said we'd see in the fourth period.
There it is. Jordan to the free throw line and then cranked it out on the left side, but not before he was grabbed on the wrist. The foul will be charged to Mo Cheeks, his 5th. And Billy will have Sedale up in a hurry.
Michael Jordan right now, if they go back to this 1-4, is going to be out on the point. He's going to be looking to try to break the defense down and just create opportunities for other people.
Daly from the perimeter. Nope. Rebound is... There was a battle. Doc, Clement, Corzine. And it's going to be out of bounds to the Sixers when we come back. But first, a timeout with 6:57 left for your ball game. 9-81. But as we indicated, still a lot of time left in this game here at the Chicago Stadium. Neil Funk with Doug Collins. 6:57 remaining. You're talking about Michael Jordan. We talked about his shoes earlier in the game.
Michaels only has 2 points here in this second half, only 10 on the ball game, and sort of reminiscent of Kelly Tripucka last night after his 45-point performance on Wednesday, being shut out last night by the Sixers.
There's Doc, good pump fake, got Jordan in the air, and then had to dish. Goes to 3. Sedale looking. Moses fires, missed it short, tap Doc won't go, and the rebound comes off to Orlando Woolridge. Jordan, good move, and then Doc just hammered it away. He spiked that baby. Hello.
Doc coming over to give help. I tell you, Julius is an amazing athlete. I know I say that a lot, but the pride in that man's body, I don't think is matched by any athlete in America.
Did you see the look? It was hard to see it on the replay, but sitting here with the angle that we had, the look on Jordan's face,
you know,
where did he come from? He's saying.
You know, Julius has played over 1,000 games in his pro career, and he came in here tonight and he knew there was a challenge awaiting him, and you know, he's just great.
Jordan makes both free throws. He's 6 of 6 from the line, but Doc has more than answered that challenge. But now the Bulls trying to close. 92-83 Sixers with a lead in the ball. Clint tried to flash. Doc will raise up. The jumper is good off the glass.
Tell me about it. Doc called that when he said bang.
Matthews at the point. And then it's kicked by Sedale 3 to fresh 24. I think Wes talked with Kevin Lockery about what the Sixers might try and run.
You know, I'm sure that they know exactly what the Sixers want to run, but it's like anything else. If you execute, there's no way you can be stopped.
Wes Matthews. Woolridge edge against Malone. Malone didn't buy the fake, and Doc skies for the rebound, then windmills the pass out. Jordan steals it, drives in, missed it, challenged by Doc. Now Clement bats at it. Daly, alley-oop, one up and in. That was a prayer that was answered.
Yes, it was, and you know, it's a 9-point game now, and the Sixers got to be very careful. They don't want to become ragged right now because they've done such a good job controlling this tempo.
Here's a pump foul on Jordan as Doc tried to run down the right sideline with it.
Michael Jordan, his fourth team scored.
Still a lot of time, Neil, as you pointed out, almost 5.5 minutes, 9-point lead. Sixers need to keep attacking that basket. Every time they attack it now, they'll be, if they're fouled, they'll be shooting free throws from here on in.
Here's the backdoor pass to Sedale, and it rolls off his foot. Sedale angry. He thought he was pushed from behind by Wes Matthews. .5:22 remaining. Matthews in a hurry now for the Bulls. Bangs into a man, and a block foul call. Now again, tough angle for us, but that looked to me like Sedale had pretty good position.
Well, he was sort of backpedaling. West looks to try to turn the corner here. Sedale's backpedaling.
Yeah, he was
still, his shoulders weren't square, Neil. You need to get those shoulders square if you're going to get that call, and he was sideways, and Wes Matthews will go to the line. He has such great speed and quickness that you've got to play 2 men against the ball when a Wes Matthews is coming at you because you cannot contain him by yourself. He's just too quick.
Moses with Clint, Clement, Sedale, and Julius. And the free throw missed by Wes Matthews.
See, Wes has come to Chicago and taken off those red shoes we used to kid him about. He's got some matching shoes now. Oh, 2 big misses there. Wes is a good free throw shooter normally, too. I don't know what he is on the year. 80% free throw shooter, so that hurts.
Let Richardson and Sedale work the backcourt. Doc, one-on-one. Doc down the lane. Beat Jordan. Dishes to 3. Jumper. Bingo. Great penetration by Doc, who got Jordan up in the air and then just laid the ball off as he drew the defense to him. Sedale banked it home. Woolridge. Nope. Clint tapped it once, and then Sedale comes away with it. 3 behind his back. Dishes to Clint. Now to Julius. Doc spins it up and in.
Oh, great ball movement there by the Sixers.
Kevin Lockery shakes his head and says, I have seen that before. 4:30 left. Timeout here at the stadium in Chicago. The Sixers 98 Chicago Stadium with the Sixers leading the Bulls 98-85.
The Sixers are searching for the ultimate fan. Look for the iron-on decal in the Daily News on Monday, November 19th. Wear the decal to the Sixers game on Tuesday, November 20th against the Washington Bullets and get a 50% discount on the $12, $10, and $8 tickets. At halftime, the Sixers will conduct a contest to find the ultimate fan with valuable prizes to be awarded to the winner.
Michael Jordan took the lob underneath and surfaced on the left side for the jam. 98-87 with 4:10 left. And here's a near steal by Woolridge, who poked it away from Doc and out of bounds. Julius with 20 points in the game. Sedale backdoor for Clint, who flashed the lane. He just kind of sliced down. Moving from left to right, and the pass was deflected, or else he would have had a layup. 10 on the shot clock, and a whistle, and an offensive foul. It's on Sedale trying to screen for Doc. Bo Cheeks comes back in, and Sedale will lead.
Sedale did a nice job tonight for the Sixers.
Yes, he did.
He came in and gave them some offense when they needed it. He also kept the defense at the pace that they were playing. Did a real nice job.
Daly. Again, they have Jordan underneath. Jordan again catches, goes up, and that's partially blocked, but a foul is called. Now, they're just going, you know, interestingly enough, early in the game, or earlier in this half, Doug, you pointed out that the Bulls, as we watch Michael Jordan catch this underneath, Doc tried to flick it away, and then the foul as Clement and Clint got there, but he indicated that the Bulls, for the better part of the game, when they've come down offensively, it's been for 3 or 4 minutes, they just look at one guy. And then the next 3 or 4 minutes, it's another guy. They don't really have the whole team involved, and consequently, they generally haven't been able to balance out the floor and run, a good set offense.
Absolutely. Daly was hot for a while, and then they went to Orlando Woolridge, and now Michael Jordan. And what that does is it makes it very sporadic, not smooth, as you said. It keeps you out of sync, and, they'll learn as they go along.
Doc cranks a pass to Clint. He dumps it off to Moses, spins it up on the glass, missed it. Ball tapped loose, and here comes Michael Jordan. Jordan into the lane, fires the jumper, won't go. Rebound Moses. Thought about pushing it out himself, and then the big fella said, whoa, we'll stop right here and let the guards handle it.
Very smart. Go down here, use some clock, get the ball inside, either get fouled or get a good shot, try to wind this clock down now. Now it becomes your ally.
Julius straight up against Orlando Woolridge. Clint hooks it off to Moses. He's kind of looking to shake and bake there in a 3-second violation. .88-89, 3:08 left. Let's see if they look to Jordan again. Now Daly, dribble drive, jumper no. Rebound Greenwood, threw up a hook, nope. Moses again.
It's like you said, you come down, it's Daly's turn that time. He was going to take it. Now next time it'll probably be Orlando Woolridge's turn.
Cheeks. Running right-hander that's partially blocked by Orlando Woolridge. And, Doug, I don't think either one of us is trying to say that you don't go to the guy with the hot hand, but nobody for them really has had a hot hand for any length of time. We've got a timeout taken with 2:32 left to play for your ball game. The Sixers 98, the Bulls 89. 2:32 left. Neil Funk and Doug Collins at the Chicago Stadium, a jam-packed Chicago Stadium, a sellout crowd here tonight to watch what was billed as the duel between Julius Erving and the next Julius Erving. And so far, it has been all Julius Erving. It has been his show, as he has done it at both ends of the floor. Has 20 points in the ball game. Has played well defensively, and Michael Jordan has 4 field goals. Does have 8 free throws, and a total of 16, but was held in check for most of this ball game. We'll see what happens coming down the stretch. They've been looking to go to him more.
I look for them to let him bring the ball up and just try to penetrate and take it to the basket, although he is playing forward now.
Doc double teamed by Woolridge and Jordan, and the ball stripped away from him. 5 on the shot clock now as Clement will inbound. See how the Sixers play this. Got it to Doc. Again, he's doubled up. Now throws up the jumper. Just missed, but Clint runs it down. Got it outside to Clement and goes to Mo Cheeks.
Well, that'll kill you. Now they can wind 24 more seconds off the clock, Neil. It's going to be under 2 minutes here.
Doc, again, they try to trap him. They go to Clint. That's blocked out of bounds. The Sixers will inbound. Clement glancing over at Billy. See what he wants to run on the inbounds play. And Clement to make the entry pass looking. Got it in at long range for Mo Cheeks. 9 on the shot clock. Cheeks runs by one man, and then he's stripped of the ball. And it's out of bounds. They're going to give it to Chicago. They ruled that it came off of Maurice's leg. 2 minutes.
2 minutes left in this ball game.
Daly or Woolridge. Well, you called it. You said it would be Woolridge's turn, and he scores.
It's almost your turn, my turn.
Let's see if it's Jordan's turn next trip down. 98-91, a 7.6er lead. This thing's a long way from being over. Moses powers his way in, and it's fouled. Well, he took one giant stride and said hello to Corzine, who drew the personal foul, his 4th. Well, I mean, he just came right at him.
Well, Moses just split the double team there and drove it right to the basket. And see, he didn't shoot the ball. He kept it in his hand and just forced Dave Corzine to bump him, and then he just threw the ball at the basket. I mean, that's a sign of an experienced pro who's scored the thousands and thousands of points in his career that Moses has.
He is 13 of 13 from the free throw line. And 37 points in the ball game.
It still boggles my mind when I think of Will Chamberlain scoring over 50 points every game. He scored over 4,000 points, Neil, in one season. To me, that is Moses got 51 the other night against Detroit, and I'm sure it looked like he scored every time he touched the ball, and that was an average night for Wilt.
Moses makes the free throw, 14 for 14 from the line, and it's a 191 Sixer lead. Daly.
It's Daly's turn now.
Yeah, and he scores. But ironically, down the stretch, with the exception of 2 possessions, they haven't gone as they go to the double team. Here's the pass for Doc, and that sails over Julius's head as Clint recognized the double team, but maybe forced the pass a bit. Daly. Well, Woolridge. Back to Daly. His turn again, and going to hit. 195 with a minute 11 left.
Sixers need to use this shot clock, get the ball down low, let Moses go to work on Dave Corzine and draw a foul.
Corzine kind of zoning up. Here's Doc from 15. Missed it short when a whistle blew. Actually, that time they had Corzine playing Bobby Jones and Greenwood checking Moses.
Actually, I think, Neil, what they were trying to do there is show a little bit of a trap and really just scramble, and Doc caught the ball there at the foul line and to come over and get help. But that trapping defense is good for a while, but when you allow it, when teams see it 2 or 3 times down the floor, normally you're going to end up attacking it and getting some good shots. If you just take your time and be patient.
Doc buries the first free throw. 101-95 with 59 seconds left. But give the Bulls credit. They could have rolled over and died and didn't. Doc makes a pair and a timeout taken by Kevin Lockery. 59 seconds left for the ball game. 102-95, 59 seconds remaining to be played here at the stadium in Chicago, and the Bulls wanted a timeout to talk things over as Kevin Lockery has to come up with something here in the final minute.
You know, will they go for 3 now? I mean, do they come down now and take a 3-point shot? I think that's got to be an option for them. Try to maybe get the ball in the open court and
especially when it's Kevin, who, you know, because of his ABA days, is very familiar with how to set it up to get that three-pointer.
Absolutely, I'm surprised they're taking the ball in at half court. That leads me to believe that they're going to try a 2-point shot because it's a little bit more difficult. But
and the angles just aren't there.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough because you can sort of zone the area. But Quentin Daly, Michael Jordan can both fire the 3-pointers.
Got it to Greenwood. Back to Woolridge. Woolridge gets it to Michael Jordan. Jordan, little stutter step move. The jumper is short. The rebound, Woolridge. Woolridge to the base, fires the jumper and scores. 102-97 with 46 seconds left. Now Mo Cheeks looking for the trap as he heads toward the timeline. Gets it across with a pass to Clint Richardson and back to Maurice, who digs it out and finds Doc open. Now Moses, he goes up. He won't fall, but he's fouled. Corzine the foul. And Moses,
well, he's going to be shooting his 14th and 15th free throws of the night. He's got probably over 20 rebounds and 30-something points. Is he going on 40 points now?
Moses.
He missed the free throw.
Misses for the first time tonight. He was 14 of 14. He has 38 points and now 39. So 39 for Moses and a 103-97. Sixer lead. Jordan streaks to the left side. Scoops it up, missed it. Bobby Jones, the rebound, the outlet for Moses. Moses is in front of everybody. He will jam with the right hand. Good night.
And what's Johnny Most say? Pull the plug, let's go home.
That's it. 105-97. Michael Jordan for 3 Daily. Yeah, he stuck that. Maybe we shouldn't go home. 105-100. And a reaching foul on Corzine, and he was fouled out of the game. So 12 seconds left in a 5-point Sixer lead. Now Daly, who can shoot it, does there. The rainbow, that is perfect.
Boy, Bobby did a smart thing there, too. He was going to go up to contest the shot, saw he couldn't, and just got away from it. You don't want to give up a 4-point play there.
Doc makes the first free throw. Julius perfect at the line, 3 of 3 and 23 points in the game. Doc again, bang again. And another timeout taken. 107 to 100 with 12 seconds left, but the Bulls now, Doug, are running out of options.
Well, they've got to take the ball in at half court now as a time factor, because it's easier to get a three-point shot by taking the length of the floor, but then on the other hand, you chew up time. So they've got to try to get the ball in at half court and fire up a three-pointer. You know, the percentages of that are, what, 30%? So, you know, they need 2 3-point baskets and a free throw. So right now it looks very bleak for the Bulls. But the rest of the game, Neil, you talk about the 76ers and their pride. Do you think that the fact that the Celtics came in here and handled the Bulls so easily that it was on the Sixers' mind to come in here and lay that same kind of groundwork?
Well, I think so, and I think also that prior to Boston coming in, at least it's my understanding that the newspapers and the press here in Chicago made a big thing about the Celtics being the defending world champions, and the Bulls, who had gotten off to a great start. And we don't want to take that away from them, because they have played well early on. But, you know, they made such a big deal out of it, I think, Boston. And then there were some quotes in the paper by some of the Bulls saying, you know, whatever, and you might pass along the line handed out by, I believe it was Cedric Maxwell, after the Celtics came in here a couple of nights ago and really shellacked them.
Well, as you said, there was a lot of talk before the Celtic game, the Bulls, you know, playing the Celtics, and they were coming in, and Sidney Green had made a couple comments about, we're going to take it right to him, and Orlando Woolrich said, we're going to take it right to the Celtics' face, and the Celtics came in and beat them by 20, and they asked Cedric Maxwell, what he compared that to, and he says, you know, it's like having a little child. Sometimes you have to spank him to make him behave. I thought that was really clever.
Well, anyway, the Sixers so far have spanked the Bulls, and they get it into Daly. He's not there for 3, but for 2, and missed that in the rebound. Tapped up, and Bobby Jones has another big rebound. And then Leon got tangled up, and the foul finally committed by Greenwood. But God, look at Doc laughing.
Doc said, I just played 47 minutes and 57 seconds, and I run into my own man.
He and Leon slap hands.
I tell you, you know, the people of Philadelphia, I hope they realize what a commodity and what a talent and just a super person and player Julius Erving is, because, I mean, you see the effort he gives night in and night out. He's got to be tired. He's 34 years old, played a tough game in Detroit last night, and he came in here tonight.
And he just shook hands with Michael Jordan down at the other end.
Yep. He's just class personified.
109 to 100. As Daly throws it at the horn, and it caroms away. And the Sixers have the win. So the Sixers win the war here. And in answer to your question, Doug, which I really didn't answer, yeah, I think the Sixers came in here after reading about the big matchup between Michael Jordan and Julius Erving and seeing that the Boston Celtics had thrashed the Bulls after they got off to a good start. I definitely think the Sixers came in and said very much, we're going to go in and we're going to spank the little baby.
Well, they did tonight, and they did it on the defensive end. And Neil, we talked about it. The key to stopping the Chicago Bulls tonight was to force them to play half-court basketball, run some set plays, not allow them to get into an up-tempo game and just get you broken down defensively where you're taking the ball to the basket in 2-on-1 and 3-on-2 situations.
Okay, that's the end of the game with the score. The Sixers 109, the Chicago Bulls 100, and we'll be back after these messages.